Hi, my name's Julie. I'm a counselor in South Carolina, and this is my co-counselor, Ed. You've found Orange Therapy. It's a channel where we discuss all kinds of things mental health related. Today, we're going to focus on one of the many cognitive distortions that can kind of derail you with your New Year's resolutions. If you haven't already, click on the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss another episode. Now sit back and let's learn together. So right now, while I'm making this particular YouTube episode, it is the new year. And so I wanted to talk about a cognitive distortion that potentially holds us back when we are setting New Year's resolutions. And that cognitive distortion is emotional reasoning. Now, emotions are important. Emotions, as I've said before, are the indicator lights on our dashboard, and they help to inform us, to let us know we need to do something. We need to attend to those. So today we're going to look at how we sometimes interpret those emotions incorrectly, and we take those emotions to be the facts that actually hold us back. So this new year, hopefully after you watch this episode, you'll be able to look at your emotions and look at the reasoning why you do things and why you don't do things, and be able to evaluate it for truth, so that no longer do your emotions cause you to stop doing what it is you would really like to do. Emotional reasoning is when emotions define our reality. Now, this is different than a gut instinct or that feeling that overwhelms us when we're really happy, when we're in the middle of an experience. It's a little bit different than that. This is when we have an ability to make a distinction between the emotional knowledge and the factual basis. And emotions are great. If you know me, and if you follow this channel for any period of time, you'll understand that I highly value emotions. I mean, they're inside of all of us. They're useful. But we need to be the curators of our lives. We need to be able to discern when an emotion rises up and a situation is being experienced. We're putting these things together. We need to be able to discern, is what I'm feeling reality, or is it a cognitive distortion? Remember, the lens that we view the world through can impact our world. So if I am taking emotions to be facts, they can negatively impact my life. So I decided to give you 3 examples based on 3 of the most common areas that people choose to make change in for the New Year's resolution. And I'm going to show you how emotional reasoning can impact these areas and derail you, and hopefully teach you how to stay on track for the coming year. So the 3 areas are our fitness, our work, and our relationships. Usually our New Year's resolutions fall into one of those 3 areas. So emotional reasoning in the area of fitness would look like, I'm working out and I'm eating a healthy diet, just like I determined with my New Year's resolutions. And I'm going along and I'm rolling and it's fine. And then one night I go out with some friends or family because it's somebody's birthday or there's a celebration, and I go to an all-you-can-eat buffet and I binge, I gorge out because it's my favorite kind of food. And then the next morning I don't go and work out because I really don't feel great because I binged on all of that food last night. So emotional reasoning would look like laying in bed going, oh, I'm such a fat, lazy slob. I'm never going to make a change in my life. This just goes to show that New Year's resolution was ridiculous. And then the person falls off the wagon. They take the emotion of the experience where they feel bad because they're not doing what they intended to do, and they take that as fact, as proof. See, I didn't do it. I am a fat, lazy slob. Cognitive distortions are also really mean. So we end up calling ourselves names, we put ourselves down. So that would be how emotional reasoning would impact that area. What would it look like with work? Well, let's say I'm a great employee and I'm working really hard, and then one day I make a mistake. Emotional reasoning would say, I made that mistake. I am a worthless employee. I deserve to be fired. I am a horrible person. Even if the boss says, it's okay. People make mistakes. We can't be perfect. Our emotions drive us, and then we feel like such a bad employee that we may have it impact our lives in such a way that we don't try anymore, because I know I'm going to fail anyways. I'm such a failure. That's emotional reasoning, and it can really negatively impact our desire with our New Year's resolution to be that great employee, to excel in work, to get the next promotion that is offered in work. Just that one mistake, and the emotional reasoning saying, I'm a terrible person because I made that mistake. And then finally, emotional reasoning in the area of relationships. So let's say relationships have been difficult because as a person who experiences really strong emotions and is often led by emotions, boundaries often are not a great strength. Boundaries are a strength of a person who is led by emotions often. They can be taught, they can be learned. So when a person with these strong emotional ties and the feeling of and experiencing emotions as facts starts to enact healthy boundaries, saying, no, you can't come over at 9 o'clock at night to bring my children the Christmas gifts that you forgot to bring them because they're already in bed. And then the kickback comes from the other people saying, but we got these gifts, don't you care? You're a terrible parent. And you feel bad because they're upset. And so because you feel bad, you feel like you must be bad, and the boundaries are wrong. And so then you cave to the boundaries and in effect impact the relationships in a negative way, even though it feels like it's a positive way, because you are letting the other people in when they were upset and you don't want to upset people. But that's not a healthy boundary. Emotional reasoning has us back away from our boundaries because I feel bad because you are experiencing a negative emotion, therefore I must be mad. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So how do we challenge these things? If I'm going to be the curator of my life, if I'm going to choose what to listen to, if I'm going to put my own emotions and thoughts through a litmus test, I need to be aware. So in the first example where I binge and then don't exercise after a month of exercising, and I tell myself, I'm a fat, lazy slob, I'm never going to be anything other than a fat, lazy slob. See, you can't stick to a diet. I'm going to back up from that and go, wait a second. I feel bad because I let myself down a little bit, but it doesn't mean I'm a fat, lazy slob. It means that I ate too much last night, and today I'm going to get back on the wagon. I didn't exercise this morning as a result of that, but I will exercise the next time I have scheduled. It doesn't make me a terrible person. In the second example, if I'm at my workplace and I make a mistake and my boss says, it's okay, you made a mistake, I can feel bad because I made a mistake because I'm a conscientious employee, right? So of course I'm going to feel bad when I make a mistake. Who likes making mistakes? But that doesn't mean I'm a terrible employee. It doesn't mean I'm unworthy to submit my application for the promotion when it comes around. I learn a lot through my mistakes. I hope you do. And then finally, in the area of boundaries, in relationships, if I am wanting to have better relationships and I put a boundary in place so that I can have healthier relationships and a healthier experience in the world, I can train people how to treat me. If I'm doing that, I have to understand that when I enact a boundary, it's going to feel uncomfortable, first of all, because I've not done it before. That doesn't mean that it's wrong. The other people who are on the side experiencing a boundary, maybe for the first time for me, are not going to like it. That also doesn't make it wrong. And understand, they're allowed to not like it. Who likes being told no? Right? So they're allowed to have their feelings too, but it doesn't mean that that boundary was incorrect. Emotional reasoning would tell me I need to throw it all away because I feel bad, therefore that must be bad. I hope that makes sense. And I hope that as you enter into this new year, that emotional reasoning doesn't become one of the stumbling blocks to throw you off your course to achieve the things that you want to achieve this year. As we go forward with Orange Therapy Online, we are going to be exploring many different things in mental health. We are going to explore more boundaries. We're going to explore the physical sensations in our body and how they impact our emotions, and a myriad of other things. If you have something specific that you would like me to explore here at Orange Therapy on YouTube, just leave that in the comments. I will do my best to answer any questions that come up down there as well. I love to hear from you. I want this to be interactive. As always, thank you so much for watching Orange Therapy here on YouTube, where you are welcome, just as you are.